Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Northside Plow with POP.1 Podcast. I'm here with some of the POP.1 team. We got my boy Danny in the house, Alex and Jordan. We're going to talk about Danny's little trip out in Philly. We're going to talk about the ban list. We got a lot to talk about. A little casual talk, a little Discord talk. I like having this with the boys. So, how you guys feeling tonight?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good.
Chilling,
Yep,
chilling.
can't complain.
Excited
Just
for the for new format, huh? We get it so quickly.
I'm pretty pumped. I've been wanting a list for a while now. I know most of us have to test for Nats.
So,
So
Danny,
it
you
came
were
at a weird time. So
yeah, you were out there in Philly, and tell us how it feels to get a ban list during a Champion Series tournament.
I think it came around two or three, and we're playing, and you just start hearing like as people are finishing up their rounds, they're like, "Hey, the ban list dropped. Hey, the ban list is very." It was very distracting. To warm up. Like, oh my god. Which I mean, I got cream pied anyway, so it didn't matter. But when you're walking around, first off, it was like a shift. Like the vendors were kind of vacant or whatever, and then everyone's like the ban list, and then everyone ran to the vendors. Somebody, Pac mentioned, and I watched the dude pick it up too. The dude had just bought three CR Cyframe Gammas, and then he got hit to one.
Ooh,
Like
tragic,
just picked them up that day, that
tragic.
morning, and it got hit to one. So it was pretty cool. People were going outside the venue and doing like reactions. MBT
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh. He put out a reaction. So it was kind of cool. And then like a lot of people um kind of tried to switch their mindset to not even think about the list. I know Michael and I sat down for about 5 minutes and kind of talked about what we thought the list was going to do and like where we thought it was going to put things at. But that was cool. All of YCS Philly was honestly pretty cool. It was ran pretty well. I know Vegas or no LA. I think day two concluded at like what Alex like 12 at night or something like that.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
10 o'clock our time, 12. Yeah, it was late. I remember I
Yeah.
fell asleep during the finals. It was bad.
So they finished at like 6 or 7. They
Oh,
won
really?
round one started at 10 o'clock. The pairings
Nice.
went up at 10. It was the main event was really well ran. The side deck ran it. That's David and his team. So shout out to David, Joe, and Dallas. That's actually my old locals. So
Nice.
that's pretty cool to see. The side events were not run amazingly. It was not online where you could sign up. So you have to get your
Oh,
little paper and stand in line. I stood in line for regional qualifiers for 35 minutes.
so they
And then I
had
had to
no
wait another
stream.
hour.
We had no stream, and then you couldn't even sign up for events online. That was kind of a big L for the weekend, and I heard that from a lot of people too. Like it was just kind of all over the place.
Yeah. So what was unfortunate though is like it was not Konami's fault for the recording and the streaming. It's like a state law or something that like prevented them from doing that. So it
It's
was
wild.
not that was not Konami's fault.
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah,
streaming.
yeah.
That was like definitely like a Pennsylvania, Philadelphia kind of thing.
Hmm.
But the venue was really cool. The convention center, um, the bathrooms were not the best, but other than that, honestly, it wasn't too bad. There was a 7-Eleven across the street. They made so much money, it was ridiculous.
Oh, I
Chinatown
bet.
was right there. We did get a 30-minute lunch break. Unfortunately, it wasn't announced loudly. So I didn't even have an idea that we had a lunch break until we had like 10 minutes left. And Michael and Trevor texted me like, "Hey, our lunch break ends in like 10 minutes. Are you back?" And I was like, "We got a lunch break?" I mean,
Hmm.
it didn't matter anyways because I scrubbed out. But
Yeah, it happens. Dude, it was a pretty sweaty looking event, man. From all the players I saw out there,
yeah,
as all the YCSs have been looking, usually a lot of big names out there, and a lot of
yeah,
crazy decks like Kashtira, the good old Kashtira deck. You guys love that deck, don't you? And it looks like we're gonna be seeing it for just a little while longer. But
yeah.
two decks that we won't be seeing that much of would be the Super Heavy Samurai and the Pirelli. Sorry, Alex. Alex, let's get your take on Pirelli right now, and then we'll go over the ban list.
When the ban list first came out, I was a little, I was like, oh, they barely hit the deck, and then I was like, wait a minute, when do I not go into plump turn one? The deck doesn't have any searchers. You pretty much just turn it all into RNG, and it's just incredibly important to be able to make a giant plump with a lot of materials into the noir that's unaffected. You pretty much lose what makes the deck good, and when you make a deck that's not good anymore, it just becomes bad. And everyone's talking about just foolish burial goods or whatever the case may be. And in my experience, whenever you have to like run foolish burial goods or run like weird different things to make a deck work, it means the deck's dead. So it was a great 3 weeks. $300 well spent for 3 weeks of fun, but that's the game we all love, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So,
What'd you say, Jordan?
I said, come in August, I believe y'all get more support for it, huh? And it makes it more playable. That you, in theory, at least.
Yeah, my my rogue deck goes to top of rogue at best. So.
Well, hey man, it happens. Thank Konami for that, man. They do it on purpose, I believe, and they just I don't know, man. The Pirelli cards is crazy. They were like down here, and then like all of a sudden it's like, hey, this deck's gonna be insane, and then they're like, nah, we ain't gonna let that happen. And the Super Heavy Samurai, that's tragic right there. We had Devin and Tyler both sleeving up the deck as the ban list drops, and it's tragic. But hey, it is what it is. Now we're getting ready for Nats. We got a whole new ban list, so we'll have Danny go over it, and we'll get some thoughts from you guys. What you guys think about it?
All right, so first we're just going to go over the Forbidden, which is Cyberstein. Some people were confused at the YCS as to why this got hit. And again, what was cool about being at the YCS when this came out is you got to hear a lot of people's takes. Cyberstein enables Super Heavy to make an FTK essentially with Gimmick Puppet. So this had to go. I don't know if everyone's seen Patrick Hoban's video of his deck profile, but his is probably the best showcase of it. So that needed to go. Scarecrow getting banned, and then Diablosis getting banned, a Pointer getting banned, and an Expulsion being banned. So in one Forbidden list, we see 2 YCS prize cards get banned. Before I kind of talk about my opinions, what do you guys think about the Forbiddens?
I think Konami actually got it right with the Forbidden list outside of Scarecrow. I really like these hits. Like Diablosis in my mind is what made Cashier problematic. A Point of the Red Lotus with Thrust is just an unfair card. Imagine if you talents and a pointer your opponent like they're playing with like no cards in hand. Anything that allows your opponent to have less cards in hand, in my opinion, is just bad for the game. Brand Explosion was what allowed you to get Gimmick Puppet locked. So pretty much the unfair parts of all these decks were just said, hey, we're not doing that anymore. And this is a really good Forbidden list as far as like bans go.
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree too. Like the Cyberstein also, like even without the bit, like being able to make it Curio is I tried it with Super Heavy Sprite. Whenever you do get it off, of course you can just it's FTK. The Scarecrow thing, I'm kind of hit or miss because right now it's like there really isn't any deck I feel that has 12 1-card starters. I mean, most decks are 2-card combo, so I think it just makes you think kind of outside the box because everybody's list was pretty much, the deck was solved. I mean, you had a couple different hand trap hits or whatever like that. Diablosis, I mean, if that didn't get banned, then Konami was doing that thing where let's ban something 6 months too late, kind of like they did with Curious. And then a Pointer honestly should have probably been banned instead of just being limited, just because not only with Thrust, but it's one of those another one of those one sacky one ofs. So yeah. I think they did pretty well.
I agree.
Yeah, the only thing that I disagree on is I think Scarecrow should be Soul Piercer. And then because this kind of kills the deck. Like people are like, oh, now you can do 2-card combos. It's like, let me tell you something. That deck is only good because it could do 1-card combos. And if you take Soul Piercer away and leave Scarecrow, like the deck is still primed to be a good deck. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the deck's still great, but
you could still do it as an engine. So instead of it just being as an actual deck, I did see somebody posted a video mixing it with Draco Slayers, and that Embor was kind of nice. It was like Appaloosa for Vortex Dragon, Secret Village of the Spellcasters with Barone and all that. So it was a pretty interesting board. Of course, uninterrupted, but it was still cool to be able to see. And that was just with still a 2-card combo like a Skokrabat Joker and a Wakashi. But wooden bike or whatever, getting your Wakashi or whatnot. But I mean, people are still experimenting with it. I think it can still be good. I just don't think it's going to be like that top notch. I don't think it's going to be one of those. I think it'll be a rogue contender for Nats, if anything, at least in my opinion. Of course, we don't have anything. People are just theorizing right now. So
Yeah, I know one fun list that I saw, and I saw it a little bit before I watched Jesse Cotton's video. Is Math Mech super heavy? So as a Math Mech player, or as a Math Mech player in every event other than the YCS, because I'm an idiot, I don't know that works, but we'll see.
We will.
So
see.
Going to the limited list, we actually got some things that we kind of expected and some things that are like, what the fuck? So Blaster, Dragon Roller, Infernos. Everybody should have already anticipated this deck or this card coming off. It came off in the OCG, came off in Master Duel. You should have known. Circular. I'm gonna keep crying. Gamma going to 1.
Crazy,
Sure.
insane.
Ding Wong, first of the Yang Zings. Every single Sword Soul player cried a tear of happiness.
I bet.
Castira or Rise Heart, they only made 1 anyways. Purely Delicious Memory, get screwed, Alex.
Sorry.
And Naturia Sacred Tree, get screwed, Devin.
That's crazy,
Yeah.
man.
I'm very happy with the Naturia Sacred Tree. Like, if they weren't going to hit Naturia Beast, like, that engine, it's bad enough runic cards barely got hit on anything, and so that's still going to be around, but at least the FTK type thing.
Fountain went to 2. That's a hit. We only ran 2 anyways, but it went to 2.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll talk about Circular real quick. I'm going to cry. There's a lot of people who are coping that MathMech is still going to be tier 1 without it. I think it'll be tier 2. You can just play the Firewall engine instead because the Firewall engine is less consistent. You just plug and play, and then you're still probably fine. Gamma, I'm happy that card's gone. I'm not gonna
Man, it's
I'm
crazy,
so happy that
dude.
card's gone.
It's crazy. I mean, Gamma being gone, I don't use it as much, but I was having a lot of fun using it these past few weeks, and they just took it away. It's okay though. You know me. I play baby decks, so I have to have stuff like this.
I have a.
So Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I kind of have like a controversial opinion. Like you were saying, the Rise Heart, they were just making 1 anyways. I really think this absolutely crushes the deck. What made the deck so good was being able to abuse a Rise Heart. And if you just out it, if you play a Kaiju, if you play a Book of Moon, whatever the case may be, you're able to out that a Rise Heart. What is Kashtira doing outside of making just big bodies that don't have any Omni Negate protection on them?
People want to spam in the Arise Heart, they'll have to play Preparation. But I think it's going to be like kind of like what I used to do with Thunder, like control. Like once you output your game, like obviously it's a little bring back the Arise Heart. Searchable instead of like Red Eyes Whispering where you can bring it back. Yeah, but I think from what I'm hearing, it's pretty much almost like you're a Arise Heart and then you're playing a bunch of Floodgates, a bunch of bitches.
I swear to God, you put your phone in a fishbowl.
Yeah, we can barely hear you.
Yeah, it sounded like you just took your phone and was like bloop, in a fishbowl.
I don't know.
Now it's great. What the hell? Okay.
I don't know. It might be my hand, but yeah. I mean, Kashtira, I think is still going to be a good deck. It's still probably going to be one of the best just because of what it can do. But then of course when you combine it with Floodgates, I think it's going to go back to the whole Forbidden Lance deal, because I feel like hand traps are going to kind of not be out of the format, but it's just instead of playing 18 like we were, it's probably going to be like a 6 to 9. Just the rest are going to be like board breakers, at least for the beginning of the format.
Yeah, and we can talk about what we think the meta is going to look like after we get through the list.
Oh, of course. But with but with circular, on your point with circular, like circular, obviously it special summons itself. So instead of having like all your small worlds and instead of just like super heavy, instead of 12 or however many ways you had to get circular, you just lost 3 ways or 2 ways or whatever. Just and then you don't have to worry about people gammaing the one circular you have, and gamma's one of those. It's one of those love-hate relationships because it's like it was good because now and anybody now can just be like, okay, draw phase shifter, or as soon or ditch bike. We're just gonna say that ditch bike, cool, roll. Okay, I had better have that one call by, and then it just sucks for other stuff, other decks like playing Sprite and stuff. That whole 7-card engine with the e-tellies is pretty much gone. So it did a little bit more than. It's nice that you won't have to worry about it, but then it just stinks because like you have no way to negate things that people can shotgun.
I will say that, like, I think, and we didn't see it on the forbidden list, and it's spoiler, it's not on here. D-shifter not getting hit, and Droll not getting hit are some mistakes. Like, I know some people are talking about why didn't like trap floodgates get hit. It's like, I don't care about a trap floodgate. If that's relevant, I put in back row hate, like, and you can put in a lot of back row hate. All you have against D-shifter and Droll is called by and cross out. And if you're going first and you D-shifter, none of those cards matter.
Yeah.
You literally can't do anything now. And that to me is frustrating. That's actually why I think Castera is still going to be decent. And again, we'll talk about it is because they have D-shifter. So. We kind of already hit about Delicious Memory. I guess I can't cry too much about Circular considering your deck actually got hit way worse by this. And Naturia Sacred Tree, Devin's not here, but we'll shed a tear for him. So, Preston, you have anything you wanted to talk about for the or for the limited?
Man, no. You know what I play. I'm just here. I'm the internet guy that plays cookies.
So, actually, the semi-limited list actually boosts your deck. So
yes, it does. We have Herald of Orange Light. We have another one,
sir.
Which is really good because with the whole Madolche thing, the whole deck's fairy, and Herald of Orange Light can be looped with Teacher. It can be a really good time. I really enjoy it, and I'm glad glad to have it back.
Herald of Orange Light can negate D-shifter, right? And Droll?
Yeah, I think so.
Man, I'm switching to Madolches then.
Yeah, it's nasty.
So for semi-limited, we have, and I hate the semi-limited list. I don't even think this should exist. But anyways, we have Herald of Orange Light to 2, Castir Unicorn to 2, Lightning Storm to 2. People are only running 2. Sure, Konami.
That was kind of weird to me.
Yeah, Runic Fountain to 2.
Okay.
Sky Striker mobilizing.
Let's go! Sky Striker best deck. Let's go.
I know Brian saw this and shed a tear of joy. Tyler saw this and went, the deck's still shit.
It's gonna win another YCS. Watch.
There's no shot.
Dude, watch. No Mystic. You're right. No Mystic Mine.
Starter to 2. So starter to 2. That hits
I didn't even notice that. I didn't even notice the Sprite starter to 2 till like just now. That's kind of.
That's how little it matters. How little it matters.
Love that. Yeah, everybody that like I said, I'm sure that at Nats or something like that, I'm gonna get clapped up by Striker. But I literally like just the age of the deck and how everything's advanced. I might as well just go take my GOAT deck out of the other room and decide to play this format by playing Sky Striker. Like, I just don't feel like it can keep up. Like, it's cute and all, but like, come on.
We'll see. We'll definitely see, man, because there are some dedicated Striker players, man, and they're gonna figure out some way to cook.
We know one of them.
Yeah, the semi-limited list really just doesn't accomplish what it needs to accomplish at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a hater of Kashtira, and I played the deck for a long time. And honestly, I think semi-limited Unicorn actually does a good bit to the deck. Any hits to the deck, a deck that just is not consistent to begin with, and hurts the consistency, hurts the deck more than I think is what's getting credit for.
Yeah.
Especially like the best one in my opinion, the unicorn.
Yeah, I feel like the unicorn. It's like, of course we don't know about certain hand traps like droll and stuff, but um, knowing that you're gonna add Fenrir more than you're probably gonna have unicorn. Of course plan it, but like if you just have like Fenrir in hand and you Fenrir search unicorn, and then like say you get drolled, you're not getting your birth unless you already have it in hand and stuff. And then if you plan it for unicorn, then you get drolled, then you're not getting anything. So I feel like it was good. I felt like there should have been a little bit more consistency hits on it, but is what it is.
Yeah, so I think S tier is still gonna be crazy because, like you said, they just play prep and they recycle. All right. Now, granted, I think cash is gonna be less free for people. There were people who I played in the regional flight afterwards. He was like, "Yeah, I picked cashier because like it was supposed to be super free," and I'm like, any deck that's like that does not need to be a thing. And like, yeah, I heard her math make update jammer access code talker, but like heard her open unicorn a 5 log.
Yeah, like cashier would be the best thing. Again, we just gonna book that sucker face down.
So and cashier just has so many consistency cards. You have one, prosperity was not on this list, by the way, which a lot of people were thinking, including myself, thinking it was going to go to 1 or something.
Yeah.
But you have prosperity, theosis, wrathsoth, birth, fucking everything. Fucking hate that deck. But Mind Hacker's gone, so I hate that deck way less. But it's not going to be as free anymore, other than de-shifting your opponent, because that card's fair apparently. So
yeah, it's super funny too when you look at your extra deck now because of Diablosis out. You can like cut some stuff back, but it's so funny too because like looking at different stuff, it's like well, you did used to make 2 of the, even though you put 2 in for Kashtira, like sometimes it was like hey, I did make 2 of this, so it's like there's a few things that I'm still planning on playing at too, just because it came up, even not get mind hackered, so it made things very interesting.
Yeah,
definitely,
that's for sure.
Yep.
So now that we're kind of over the list, what do you guys think are going to be like the top decks we're going to see?
Wait, we got Unlimited, sir.
Oh my god.
This is the most important part of the whole thing. Not really, but
Alright. Blackwings Team the Cloak. Shout out to my boy Leonard. He was X2 going in the last round with rank 8 spam, the same record as Michael Murphy. And he lost to fucking Blackwings in the last round, so get punked. Janex Alley Birdman, Samsara Lotus. I don't even know what that card is. Spiral Quick Flicks. I don't even know what that. I didn't play her in Spiral format. Lyricless, Recital Starling. I'm sure Aurora will probably like that. Other than that, I don't know what that card does. Draco Phase Up. No idea what that card does. Sky Striker Mecha Modulus Multi-Roll. Sky Strikers. I'm sure some Sky Striker player was happy somewhere.
Let's go. Hey, I played the deck for like 3 weeks.
I'm about to say, I have some input on this part. So multiple, nobody cares, because if you get 3, I'm sorry, you're not even going to win locals. It's actually like a one of still. If you plan on making a go first version, 2 is good, because then obviously your stuff's going to go through. But if you play go first striker with only 2 engage and stuff, yeah, sure, go ahead. Draco Face Off is actually kind of good, but people are talking about, I heard some comments about people talking about mixing it with super heavy. I don't know about that. I didn't play back then, but Spiral Quick Fix, nobody cares. Master Plan still banned, so it doesn't do anything. The Lotus, from what I heard, was an FTK, but I heard that, of course, now everything's so fast that it's probably not going to matter, but who knows?
Yeah.
I can't see.
This unlimited list is just like what Konami needs to start doing, just unban a bunch of like irrelevant cards. Because if you think about it, there's probably like 20 plus cards in the ban list that could just go to unlimited. And
but sometimes Konami messes up. You guys weren't around for it, I don't think. But one time, Konami unbanned Snatch Steal. and I wreaked fucking havoc with that card.
I played Tello Knights online, and I didn't even say I played Tello Knights. I played Snatch Shield Control.
Yeah,
Like that broken.
yeah, that's
Ask Michael Murphy about when we used to play test back then online with Snatch Steel. It didn't matter what he did. I always had that card.
yeah, that
But
card is not fair. So sometimes Konami messes it up, and we get a card that should not be in the game. Like
Well,
it's ridiculous.
overall, I think the ban list brought some sort of balance. You can't if it did bring anything, it brought some sort of balance, and it gave players like me and a lot of our locals and stuff a little bit more room to play around. And that's kind of I'm kind of on the both sides. I like to see you guys prosper in your decks and win all these tournaments and stuff. But sometimes the little guys got to see a little bit more balance. And I know we are all shaking in our knees over just being in a format with just two good decks. You know what I mean? It was like that with Sprite and Tier for a little while, and then Tier took over, and then that finally went away, and it was like, oh, we get to play Yu-Gi-Oh again. I mean, you remember during Tier format, like people were legit leaving to go play other games. Like it was it was kind of getting weird, and I was kind of foreseeing that with the current situation. But like I said, seems a little bit more balanced out.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
would have been nice if they hit a little bit more branded, because I get everybody's all gung ho about branded and they not want to kill it. But I mean, expulsion does hurt a little bit. But I mean, come on now, guys. It's been what, 2 years? I mean, I've only been back in the game since the beginning of 2020, and I feel like branded came out when I first got back in. So.
Dude,
Yeah.
Konami loves branded. They ain't getting rid of that, man. They got too much money behind it.
On the bright side, getting rid of expulsion means you have to be actually worth a fuck at branded to
Yeah, that's
be
true.
able to win. You can't just
Yeah,
go, huh, gimmick puppet, GG. Like you gotta actually know what the hell you're doing. But what do you guys think's gonna be good heading into Nats? We've got what, a month and a half?
We got a month, man, and it's definitely gonna be some grind, but that's what's gonna make Nats fun. It's gonna be definitely element of surprise, dude. You're gonna actually go to a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. It's gonna be actual duelists bringing out something crazy, man. You're gonna see some spice, dude, and a lot of people ain't gonna share before Nats either, dude. It's gonna be a lot of surprising going on, and
Yeah.
I'm super excited about it.
I agree. Alex, what you think's gonna be good?
So what's super exciting is, beginning of the format, it's like what's good. So pretty much the most untouched decks are like Branded Despia, Lab, like outside of Expulsion. Branded Despia is still like a really good deck. I'd say tier 1 status.
Yeah.
But, the other decks like Sprite, Castier, they just kind of get knocked down a peg, but they're still like top contending decks. I'm excited to see what happens with this format. I think Lab is going to be great to start with, but the moment you start playing like evenly matched and 2 Lightning Storms and Harpies, like the deck starts to crumble from that without the Solemn Judgments.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I really think that this ban list kind of brings all the best decks to its knees a little, but it kind of gives it all like an equal playing field. There's no like clear-cut best deck. And we're not in a Droll format anymore, which is refreshing, because if you just see Droll, a lot of times you auto win the game. So now that's not like the best card anymore, Ash is kind of back to the top tier, hand trap status. That's great. And I don't know what's going to be absolutely the best, and that's pretty exciting, to be honest.
Yeah. Jordan, what about you? What you think's gonna be good?
So obviously Sprite got a little hit, just depending on the variant. It's like the Melfi Sprite. It's kind of like they lost the Gamma package plus the E-Tellies, and everything. So that's going to be a rough thing. I'm messing with some different stuff, of course, all theory. But yeah, you've got like all the different Sprite variants, which makes Dark Ruler come back into the format more than it was before. The good thing though is that a lot of the hand traps and stuff seem to do better overlapping than they did before. Like Ghost Bill hits some of those, like the Tri Brigade Sprite. It hits the branded, with the new, even though they can still like puppet lock or whatever, like that new fusion that they got gets hit by Ghost Bill. Then you got Labyrinth that gets hit by Ghost Bill. So it just seems like a lot more of the different hand traps and stuff that people are going to play, I think, are just going to do better overlapping. So you'll be a little more prepared for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just everybody. The format always moves so quick. Right now it's like you could think that Branded's good, and then next week it'd be like, well, Branded is actually like Sky Striker, and it's just should have been cut out
But
last
Sky
format.
Striker's the best deck, man.
I'm not saying
Anyways, man. Well, cool, man. It was cool discussing this with you guys, man. I love having these little sit downs, and I wish we could show them everything that we talk about, but we got to keep some doors closed. But anyways, man, it was great having a little sit down with you guys. I guess we're ready for Nats, man. We got a month coming up, and it's gonna be crazy. I really can't wait, and we'll get more footage and more profiles to you guys before then. Make sure you like and subscribe, do all that good stuff. But until next time, we'll see you guys later.
all right, later, guys.
Peace.